Hello, I'm Dr. Heidi, creator of Vocab Victor. Welcome to week 2 of the 2019 1,000-Word Challenge. Last week you learned 20 words. This week we will continue with 20 more words. We'll also review some of last week's words, so stay tuned. Last week we learned words related to dessert, and I have to tell you something. It made me hungry. This week I decided to make a dessert, so we're going to have a cooking video. I will be making chocolate pudding using chia seeds. I'm very excited. Here are this week's words. Add, to put something with another thing or group of things. Measure, an amount or degree of something. Heart, the organ in your chest that pumps blood through your veins and arteries. Experiment, something that is done as a test, something that you do to see how well or how badly it works. Taste, the sweet, sour, bitter, or salty quality of a thing that you can sense when you put it in your mouth. The flavor that you can taste when you eat or drink something. Seed, a small object produced by a plant from which a new plant can grow. Chocolate, a food that is made from cacao beans and that is eaten as candy or used as a flavoring ingredient in other sweet foods. Good, of high quality. I know what you're thinking. You already know what good means. Why is she teaching me a word I already know? Well, I think you do know what the basic meaning of good is. It is a very common word, but let me tell you something about these common words. They often have many different meanings and ways to use them. So let's take a look at the dictionary. Let's look at the word we just did, chocolate. And I just want to show you something right here. This is the whole entry and definition for chocolate, about 5 lines, including the pronunciation and the spelling. Now, let's look at the entry for good. Oh, in the same dictionary, the entry for good starts here and it goes all the way down here. It's got 2 separate entries for good. And then, if you keep going, there are more words and expression with good after that. So in this class, I don't only want to teach you new words. I want to build your knowledge for the words that you already know. This week, I want to teach you the sense of good as not causing harm or trouble, causing something desired, something that you want. Now, this meaning is frequently used with for plus a noun, as in good for you. So something good for you will do something that you want. So a mother might tell her children, eat your vegetables, they are good for you. And I'm sure you're familiar with the word better, which means more good. You can also use this expression with better, as in which is better for you, chicken or beef. So pay attention when you see or hear good, and think about the different ways it is used. Powder, a dry substance made up of very tiny pieces of something. Pudding, a thick, sweet, soft, and creamy food that is usually eaten cold at the end of a meal. Optional, available as a choice, but not required. Spice, a substance, such as pepper or nutmeg, that is used in cooking to add flavor to food, and that comes from a dried plant and is usually a powder or seed. Bowl, a round container that has tall curving sides that is used for preparing or serving foods and liquids. Almond, a nut that has a sweet flavor. Paste, a soft, wet mixture of usually a powder and a liquid. Result, something that is caused by something else that happened or was done before. Combine, to cause two or more things to be together or to work together. Healthy, good for your health. Kitchen, a room in which food is cooked. Recipe, a set of instructions for making food. Okay, next up, I'm going to do a cooking demonstration. I'm going to make chocolate chia seed pudding. Okay, so welcome to my kitchen and welcome to the Great Chia Seed Pudding Experiment of 2019. I have never used chia seeds before to make pudding. In fact, I don't usually make pudding at all. I mean, it's all right, but you know, it tends to be kind of rich and not very good for you. But this pudding is supposed to actually be very good for you. I'm always looking for things to eat that are healthy and that taste good. So I'm excited to try this out. This recipe is called Overnight Chocolate Chia Seed Pudding, and this is from minimalistbaker.com. I'll put the link to the recipe in the description in case you want to make it yourself. First, I'm going to measure my ingredients so that I have everything ready. This is cacao powder, which is powder made from the cacao bean. It's the same thing that they make chocolate from. Chocolatey. We want a 1/4 cup of that. This recipe doesn't have any sugar in it, but it's sweet because we use maple syrup as a sweetener. The recipe author says for us to use from 3 to 5 tablespoons of maple syrup, and I don't want this to be too sweet, so I will choose to use 3 tablespoons. Next, we have cinnamon. So this is a cinnamon stick, this is cinnamon powder. The recipe needs ground cinnamon, which is a very good spice. The recipe author says that this is optional, which means you can use it or not, but I'm going to use it. I like cinnamon and I think it'll help the recipe taste good. So we want a 1/2 teaspoon of that. The next ingredient in this recipe is salt, but I'm actually not going to use salt because I read the comments section on the recipe website and people said that they thought that the pudding was too salty, so we'll just skip it. Next, vanilla. I love the smell of vanilla. We want a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we'll get that ready. And the next thing we need is almond milk. Now, most puddings use dairy milk, which is milk made from cows, but the idea here is that the almond milk is kind of better for you than dairy milk. Unfortunately, almond milk is not really better for the planet because it takes a lot of water to grow almonds. So, you know, keep that in mind, but life will never be perfect. 1.5 cups of that. This almond milk is unsweetened, which means it has no extra sugar in it, and it already has some vanilla in it, but I don't think you can really have too much vanilla when it comes to something like pudding. So now we've got it all ready to go. The final ingredient is chia seeds. Now, these chia seeds are supposed to be just really good for you. They're what's called a superfood, a food that has lots of healthy properties. And they are supposed to be very good for your heart. We want a 1/2 cup of these. I'm going to start cooking now using a mixing bowl. Remember last week we learned the word mixture from the root mix. So you know a mixing bowl is a bowl to mix or combine ingredients. So I'll add the powder. It says to sift it so it doesn't have clumps. Okay, now I'll add the maple syrup. I will whisk to combine. This is a whisk. To whisk is to kind of stir it quickly. This is not one of your vocabulary words for the week, so I guess it's a bonus word. And I didn't put it on the list because it's not something that you will use very often. Now we'll put in the cinnamon and the vanilla. I'm going to keep whisking. Now we're supposed to add a little bit of milk and whisk it until a paste forms. So we need it to get kind of thick. So let's do that for a little bit. Okay. A little bit more almond milk. It's not getting perfectly. Okay, it's starting to get a little thicker. Put in a little bit more milk. Almond milk. And more almond milk. Keep going, keep going. Yeah, I've never made this before, so I don't know if it looks right or not. What do you think? Kind of pretty. It looks chocolatey, so there's that. Nothing wrong with chocolate, that's for sure. Not in my book. Okay, stir, stir, stir. I think we've got all of the chocolate and spices and sweetener in here, so we're going to add the chia seeds and mix it in. Now, these chia seeds are what is going to make our pudding have that thick, creamy consistency that we want. So put this in here and stir it up. And then after that, I'm going to cover it and put it in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 hours or overnight. So I will finish this video in a little while and we will see the result. Okay, so yesterday I made overnight chocolate chia pudding, which was an experiment because I'd never done it before. I have no idea what's going to happen. So today we are going to see the result of the experiment, and I have taken the pudding out of the refrigerator, and it's kind of amazing. I already looked at it, and look at this, it's very solid. Remember when we put it in, it was liquid, and now it's very firm. So I'm going to put some in a bowl. Oh my gosh, it's so thick. Look how thick it is. And you can see the little chia seeds here. You can see the little seeds. I don't know if you can get that. Okay, so this is chocolate chia seed pudding. Here we go. Okay, remember when I said I was only going to use 3 tablespoons of maple syrup because I didn't want it to be too sweet? It's not sweet enough. It needs more syrup or more sugar, but the texture is good. The chia seeds are a little crunchy, which is not what you expect when you're eating pudding. But I think if I put some strawberries on this, or maybe some bananas, maybe sprinkle a little sugar on there, just a little bit of sugar, it will be great. Okay, so that's all for this week. Thank you for joining me. I hope you had fun learning 20 new words. Next week, we will learn 20 more vocabulary words. And once again, if you want to improve your vocabulary, download my app, Vocab Victor, and use your vocabulary in the comments section below. Write a question, answer somebody else's question, start a conversation with people, use your words. The other thing, I'm going to put a link down in the description. I'm starting a course website for each course, and I'll have all the words on there, and it will also have a worksheet which has puzzles for the words so that you can get some practice that way. So download my app, go to my website, use your words in the comment section, tell your friends about this video series, tell your teacher about the video series, like and share, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.